Hey everybody, it's Steven GetMoneyMyrick here, and in today's video I want to give just kind of a general account update, talk you through where my account has been, and also the real big thing is I'm going to be concentrating on campaign, specifically campaign 3-7. I cleared all 10 levels of 3-7 and I have video footage of most of the fights as well as the lineups I used, and I thought some of you might find this helpful to see what clears are looking like right now. You know, one thing just looking at my hero bag real quick that I really want to talk about is that I have moved away from Machman and I am using Vulcan. So I have found Vulcan's damage to be very similar to Machman's while being a lot more consistent. My Vulcan only has about 8 million attack, whereas my Machman had about 10 million. And I'm still having good success clearing campaign waves. Obviously, as I get to the 4 dash whatever campaign waves, maybe the damage won't quite be there, but he seems to be more consistent. Obviously the tenants, you have issues with, you know, getting him in the tenants. He obviously needs to be fully sublimed, but I've been very impressed with him, and you know, his performance in PvP is just so much better than Machman's, and he has so many more uses there that I really want to go that way. I also built an Elena, and while she's great in PvP, she's also really helpful in campaign. Specifically, she's good at removing CC, so she's very helpful against Holmes and against Sherlock waves. So you can't really regret having a Elena copy. A friend of mine was saying that he is using them even at just, you know, base level without having any sort of tree stuff put onto her. She still does the job well of what you want her to do. And you'll see that I'm using her a lot in all these campaign clears. I wanted to take a second and give a shout out to CTV's PvE notes and discussion server. If you're not in this server and you're interested in making progress, you are making a mistake. He has tons and tons of information that's really clearly laid out for you. I did reach out to me, said I was fine to promote this and admit that, you know, he's the brains behind the operation. I'm just the guy plugging in heroes, but he's got a very good clear for what we're doing here. He's clearing with Machman here with 9.5 million damage, and I basically, on almost all of these, I have subbed out Vulcan for Machman, and instead of using precision, I've been using skill damage, but essentially I'm following the same builds throughout these videos as he has here. So obviously, if you want just everything laid out super simply, this is the best resource. I will have a link in the description for doing that. I will be following him as he clears you know, some of the 4-1-1 stages, and I'm sure I hopefully will be able to clear using the same things. But you can kind of look through here real quick and just get a general gist of just how much Elena is being used. She's a big deal and very helpful in campaigns, so that's really cool to see how much she's being used. And basically the rest of the video is just going to be me showing some of the fights, maybe having a few notes, but more just if you're interested in seeing the fights and how they go and how Vulcan does and what kind of damage he does. A lot of them I kind of, you know, maybe I don't clear in the fight I show, but I just have these stats at the end because it's hard to just record every single thing you're doing and get the exact right clip of what's going on. But you should get a good idea of how the fights flow and everything. And again, I will leave a link in the description to this Discord server so that you can join it and, you know, get on it. But very helpful information in this Discord server. And yeah, I basically just have fights. I'm commentate them maybe, but mostly just show you guys these fights. So if you stuck around for all this, I appreciate you guys. I thought some of you might find this interesting just to see how Vulcan does. And again, basically I was just taking out Machman and putting in Vulcan and it was working. So it's pretty awesome. So this first fight here is 3-7-1, and you can see we're jumping in to my Vulcan being CC'd. So I don't even know if he got an attack off in round 1. This just really shows you how tanky he can get as the rounds go on and he builds up all of his buffs and stuff. That you can see how low he is. You may not believe this. This is going to be a clear here on this level. I'm pretty sure, I'm not lying to you guys, I'm pretty sure I cleared it here. He just gets so tanky. So even though we only have the 8 million attack, he's just in here, he's just putting on big work for all of us. So I thought you all might find it interesting that it's not really a burst strategy, or, you know, it can be, but he's able to tank up and just clear it. In all these videos, I tried to kind of give a summary after the fight and just show the build I used. Again, in most of them, I'm just following exactly what CTV has in his Discord server. Some of them I would change up between like Unbending Will or not, you know, just if you want to see the actual stats that my Vulcan has. And, you know, I don't even think that's the right stone for him. It's just the one I rolled, and I'm super low on dust right now. But damage reduction, control immunity, and crit damage. And again, I think later I'm switching to some skill damage with him. And again, just showing some of the stats in case you're curious how my copies compare to the copies you have. I do have the Holmes full active, as well as the Vesa full active, as well as Freya's passive 2 and passive 3. Moving to 372. I don't remember if this is a clear. You know, again, this is one of those fights that it's not like I'm bursting and clearing round 1. Like, I'm basically able to tank up and have the dodge. And yeah, this one's not a clear. Oops. I don't know if I have a clear 372 or not. No, I don't. I think I had some screenshots, but again, it's in the Discord server exactly what I did. Onto 373. The other cool thing is most of these fights, I mean, they took 1 or 2 attempts. I think when we got to 378 and 379, it did take some more attempts, and that was mostly me being lazy about, like, you know, I still had control immunity on heroes when there isn't actually any control immunity to fight against, or, you know, I needed to go through and update the third enable on heroes to be like mark purifies instead of, you know, CC purifies and stuff like that. So once I went through and did all that, it was quite a bit easier. A little bit long fight here, but it works out in the end. Carries just keep coming back. It got a little scarier here than I remembered, but there's the clear, there's the damage screen. Get to the hero lineup just so if you want to see we went with the staff punisher there just because you know, with the energy drain it's hard to get off too many actives. That's what I assume the reason is. Again, I didn't write the Discord server. On to 374, and if I remember right, this is the only one that actually uses Jara for the clear, so you just have to get, you know, lucky with CCs and you pretty much win. Is this a clear? I don't remember. I don't think this is a clear. So, you know, basically it's just getting lucky with the CCs and energy feeding a Jara until you get it. I think this is the only fight where we use a Jara. Go ahead and watch me die again. Yeah, you see no CCs there, so no good. But we did eventually clear the fight. Going through, you can see what kind of enables we have, and again, using the re on the Jara, those are the stats. You see nothing impressive. She's basically a tenant, and we still kept all the attack stuff. So this is definitely one of those that you can just CC. On to 375 now. One thing I will talk about is speed. You know, the speed does matter here. You can see I have the boots on Vulcan to make him the slower than Fairy Queen Vesa, slower than Freya, and slower than Scarlet Queen Halora. Okay, let's get in the fight. Is this a clear? I bet it's a clear based on how long this video is. One thing on this fight, and CTV was talking with me about it, is putting Magic Stone Sword on Elena. I don't remember if I did that for all the fights, but basically because there's an Aspen, you know, his basic will CC the back row, and it's really important that Elena isn't CC'd so that she can do what she needs to do. So MSS gives you that control immunity enough so that you are not getting CC'd, so that you can do what you need to do. That is not a clear, ladies and gentlemen. Don't know why I thought that was a clear, but I guess eventually we beat it, so I don't actually have a video showing us clearing it. Did I put the Magic Stone Sword? I put it on Vulcan, so you know, that's just me being dumb and not understanding. I only have one copy. We did get lucky. I put a crown on her. In general, you know, you can just swap around and put people in the front row if you want. You don't have that flexibility with Mockman. So again, this is me being dumb and not understanding how the game works. But right, with Mockman, you need him in the back to do the damage, right? So he needs to stay back there. So some rounds you need to put Magic Stone Sword on for the CC immunity. With Vulcan, you can just put him in the front row. He doesn't care whether he's in the front or the back. So it makes it a lot more flexible there about like what route you go. On to 376. All these fights, I believe I'm using a 1-star Holmes core, except for the Jara fight where we used a Jara core, and it's just a 1-star Jara core. I'm close to getting my second Holmes core, get a 2-star. Again, I think I missed the boat on some of this. So I think here I do actually have the Magic Stone Sword on Elena, and because you put a harp on to Vulcan. And obviously just a very tanky lineup. I can't remember if I struggled with this one. Again, most of these, it was just like 2 or 3 fights. Skip ahead a little bit here. Get an active with the Phoenix Burn. What does this damage look like? Boom, boom, boom. Nice little clear there. Killed a few heroes. Yeah, it might be crazy. It feels like, you know, with Vulcan, you get more flexibility about how long the fight lasts. You know, the fact that he does become more tanky, you don't have to just burst everything immediately. And obviously, all the fights in CTV's Discord are going to be Mockman. Like all the videos are going to be Mockman clearing. So they might have a different flow than if you're watching Vulcan do some clears. There's the damage screen for a quarter second. Hope you took a screenshot. And here's, you know, again, harp damage, 8.1 million attack, fully sublimed. Elena. Oh, I did put the. Hey, look at me. Way to go. On to 377. Was this one hard at all? I can't remember. I don't think it was. I think this is the first time I fought it and got it clear. You can see, I mean, we did trigger the Bending Will here, just immediately. It's gonna be funny if I lose this fight and say that I cleared it the first time. There goes Holmes. And again, you know, your Elena doesn't have to be T3 like mine is. Your Holmes probably doesn't have to be T3. It could probably be T1. It just obviously makes the fights more consistent when they have more health and are able to do what you want them to do more often. We get a nice big active here. Pretty big. Just skip to the next active. I can't even be bothered to watch my own videos, so I'm not going to make you guys watch them. And we got a little clear there. Again with harp. And yeah, again, I didn't use precision. I don't know if it would do more damage or not. It seemed like skill damage was doing better for me. On to 378. And this is the first one I had trouble with. I was kind of surprised I had trouble with it. It doesn't look like too intimidating of a thing. I think just Russell's like multi-hitting stuff was causing me problems for whatever reason. So here's a fight, and I know I lose this fight. I don't remember if I have the fight that I won or if I just have the ending screen. It did take me a couple tries. I'm trying to think if I adjusted anything. 22322 enables. I don't think so. I think I just kind of had to, like, this is the fight where I just had to make sure I had all my tanky enables on like all my heroes other than Vulcan, just to like let them survive as many pings as possible and just stick around while he's able to do his work. I think that's kind of why I struggle with this one. So yeah, I had to do it, I don't know, like 10 or 15 times. It wasn't anything crazy, but just had to actually make adjustments. And you can see we got close that time. Here's the ending of the 378 where I actually got the clear. I think I looked up and saw like, oh, I'm actually gonna beat it. So there's the damage screen and get to, yeah, so got the Mark Purify here. And so you see I actually like went through and adjusted everybody's, and I think I got off I got off. I took rid of CC, you know, and put on like block instead of CC. And this is 379. Again, I struggled with this one. What I struggled with was the amount of damage I was doing. I wasn't quite doing enough damage, and they were like, all these healers were able to just scale up and get their shields up. And I just wasn't doing enough. So the CTV's guide calls for 22322 and damage reduction, crit damage, and precision. And I'm almost 100% sure, and we can get near the end there, that I did 22321 when I actually cleared this fight. I didn't have unbending wheel triggered, so it just wasn't a big deal. And I don't remember if I got rid of damage reduction as well. I don't think I did. I think I still left damage reduction. And this is another fail, right? Yeah, I think I still left damage reduction, but instead of speculating, you know, we can just watch the next video and see what happened. This is my actual clear here, and again, we're jumping in super late. Just stacking buffs, stacking damage, and getting up until we are able to win the fight. Big active there, lots of damage. That's some big boy numbers. Let's see. Yeah, so 22321, and here we'll see skill damage. Okay, I did keep damage reduction and crit damage. So yeah, that would just be like one change from the guide. That I found that easier for me. And then we move on to 3710, which is the last fight. I think we cleared this the very first time we tried it. I don't think we had any issues with it. Wasn't really that scary at all. You can see I actually do get you know, the CC on my Vulcan from Aspen. Luckily I'm going to be doing an active here, so I don't know how much it comes into play, and I cleared it there, so we're okay. You could just put, you know, him in the front. You could put Elena in the back with Magic Stone Sword. I don't remember exactly what items I used. Again, just don't have a brain still about this game. Still letting other people do the hard work. But I'm at least somewhat talented in press and record on a video player for you all. And yeah, you know, it's round 3 and everybody's still got pretty high health here, but with that big active, look at that. Oh my lord, right? So yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the story of this is, I think a lot of people are, should I switch, should I not switch? Obviously it's working for me. I realize I'm probably raising the prices of Vulcan copies right now in the auction house when I still have a B- only. Maybe I'm not. Maybe everybody just knows he's good. He's obviously good in PvP, and I think he's got a lot of uses here. We do have the Magic Stone Sword on him in the back row, so we did get CC'd, but it worked out. Skill damage, crit damage, and damage reduction. And I think the Elena was just wearing a crown. So yeah, I just wanted to share those videos with you all. Hopefully you found them helpful and interesting. Hopefully you learned something, since, you know, I clearly didn't learn anything. But if you have any questions, don't ask me. Just go into CTV's Discord server and check the guides, and I'm sure you can clear it yourself. And I think I'm around like 130-ish now. I think I went from like 155 to 135 or so, somewhere around there on campaign. I'm not exactly sure. So jumped up a few spots, and I don't know. We'll slowly work on 4-, whatever. But that's all I have in my video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all later.